What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and you know what time it is? It's time for my weekly predictions video. This week, Michigan's going to be playing Purdue at Purdue, and I'll be honest with you, this is probably the most out of the now 4 games that are going to be played in the season. This is probably the most nervous I'm going to say that I've been so far in the season. And the reason why is I think that this is a real danger game for us. So I'm going to give my reasons for that. First of all, definitely if you have any comments about the video, definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about the game. Let me know if you feel they're going to win, how you feel that they've been playing so far this year. Just comment in the comment section below and let's get this discussion going. So, anyways, the reason why I feel that this is a huge danger game for them is, for starters, this is their first real road game. I mean, technically they were on, quote-unquote, the road on the first game of the season, but that was a neutral game, neutral spot game anyways, where both teams were away from their home. So, you know, that kind of washed everything out as far as being on the road. This is the first game where it's going to be, 100% on the road, dealing with, a hostile environment. And this is going to be a huge test especially for the young kids, the freshmen who have been put into key positions, to see how they fare on the road. So, a lot of times it's always night and day, especially with young players, between being, the comforts of playing at home and the comforts of playing on the road. Excuse me. So that's my first huge concern with this, that it's a road game. Also, what's a concern to me is the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, after this week we have a bye. So that is also a concern to me because, especially again with young players, you might be looking ahead to the fact that you have that week off where you're not worried about playing and you can rest up or whatever the case may be, and you might be thinking ahead to having that bye week, and then also thinking ahead that a week after that you have a huge game. So this is one of these situations where their head might not be 100% into the game. I know Harbaugh's going to do everything he can to avoid that, but it's just human nature. So that's a huge concern to me. I mean, also, obviously, number 3, the huge concern is our offense is still not on track, and with the injury to Tariq Black, it just leaves a huge hole at wide receiver. I'm real curious that after the news of him being out and being out 6 to 8 weeks, and them talking about who's going to fill in the void left by his absence, I'm not hearing concrete replacements for him. I mean, one source is saying Eddie McDoom, others are saying that Nico Collins or Oliver Martin might get time, and I'm thinking, what about Donovan Peoples-Jones? Like, why is he not being thrown into this into the mix? That's what is confusing to me. I thought he would have been starting instead of Tariq Black, but that's neither here nor there. What is strange to me is that he's not the number 1 option to replace him. So I know one thing with Harbaugh is he's always going to put the players and have the players playing that are in the best position to get the W. That's always been, he's been consistent with that. So I don't think that that's going to be any different. So the fact that there's debate on that means it's just kind of strange to me. So hopefully we see a change there that is going to be a positive for our already struggling offense. But Also, a lot of people are talking about, as far as the situation with Wilton Spate, we need to have him taken out of the lineup, give someone else a chance, whether it be O'Korn or let Brandon Peters go in there. He's the future, so you might as well let him. And my thing with that is, and it goes back to my previous point, I think Harbaugh's been doing this long enough, and I'm going to go out on a limb, not really, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he knows kind of how to evaluate talent and know who to put in those positions to win. So I think that he would know who gives him the best opportunity to win. So all this talk about Brandon Peters and getting rid of Wilton Spate, and I think that Harbaugh, if he felt confident in doing so, he would have done so already. I mean, look what he did with the whole situation with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick back, when they were having that run towards the Super Bowl. He had no problems making the change at quarterback and sticking to it, too. I know initially it was because of injury, but when he came back, he still stuck with Kaepernick all the way to the end. So my thing is I think that he knows who's going to give him the best opportunity to win. And obviously at this point in time, that person is still Wilton Spate. So from that standpoint, we're just going to have to ride that out and see if he gets better. I mean, I don't know if that injury that he had in that Iowa game is still lingering, because it's just like he just hasn't been the same since there. He was really, really he was progressing, kind of the same way that Jake Rudock was progressing the previous season. And it seems up until that point, he was just getting better and better. And then it's like since then, it's just been stagnant as far as his improvement. It's like nothing has changed. He's seemed to have regressed. And I don't know if it's lingering issues from the injury or if it's just all between his ears. So hopefully he can get that worked out and we can get quarterback play that's at least decent enough so we're not, hanging on our defense in order to get a win. So this is going to be an interesting matchup from the standpoint that I think this is going to be the best offense this year that Michigan's faced, but then also the best defense that Purdue's faced. So that is going to be really where it's going to come down to who's going to get this W. Who's going to dominate the side of the ball between Michigan's defense and Purdue's offense. As far as Michigan's offense and Purdue's defense, I know I said last week I think this is the week that they need to get things going, but if there's any time that they really need to get things going and sort things out, it has to be this week, because the schedule is going to get more difficult after this game, and they need to be running on all cylinders going into the next game after this one. So I still think that we're going to win, but this game is not going to be easy, not by any stretch at all. What we can't afford to do is to get down early on the road, because I think if we get down early, like at least, especially if it's down 2 scores, with this young team, we might be in trouble. So the only thing I can think of as far as us getting the win this week is just, I think if we hold our own and play the way we've played, at least for these first 3 games, where we're winning. The game is close, but we're still winning at halftime. I think in the second half, the pattern is we've been able to pull away from teams and just outscore them in the second half. And I think the same thing will come true for this game, as long as we keep it close or we're winning in the first half. So it's going to be a close game, definitely at halftime. I think we'll at least win by maybe anywhere from, I say we win by 10 points. So something like, I don't know, 20-10 or anything like 27 to 14 or something like that. I think the defense is going to hold their own. It's really going to come up to being the offense doing what they need to do in order to help us get the win. So, like I said, I'm nervous about this game with it being their first true road game, and with some of the injuries that we have, whether or not we can be able to sustain them and get this win. So anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, definitely leave a like on the video. It really helps my channel if you leave a like on the video. The more exposure I get, the more people will watch the video, and the more people will, be leaving their comments and letting themselves be known on my channel. So definitely like the video. If you like the video, definitely comment on it and share it with as many people as possible to get discussion going. And if you continue to like my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm trying hard to grow this channel as much as possible. So definitely hit the subscribe button if you like my videos. And I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully you get this W. Go Blue. Peace.